not need to upgrade the CPU, it's usually safe to stick with your motherboard, install some faster, higher capacity RAM, upgrade the storage, and get one of the best graphics cards. As well as physical socket types, you have specific chipsets from Intel and AMD that work only with particular processors. The X570 is best used for AMD Ryzen 5000 or 3000 series processors. Bottom line, X670 motherboards are incredibly expensive at launch for the latest AMD Ryzen 7000 processors, but you can still find a decent deal on a new one. The Asus Prime X670P isn't as flashy as the new X670E motherboards that form the TUF and ROG Strix families, but it's got everything you need for a powerful AMD PC. Being one of the most important components to consider for a modern PC build, it's paramount you make the right choice to match the processor and RAM you either already own or plan on buying. Starting fresh or wanting the latest from AMD, you're going to require a motherboard with the 600 series AMD chipset. X670E boards can hit $500 and beyond, allowing you to save a little at launch and still make full use of the latest processors. As well as supporting AMD Ryzen 7000 processors thanks to the AM5 socket, this Asus board also has the best chipset you can get in the form of the X670. Whether you'll require this much system memory is a whole different kettle of fish, but it's good to know the board supports such a high capacity. Even though this could be considered a slightly more affordable motherboard from Asus, it's still rocking some high-quality components. The VRM setup and power phase design are more than capable of handling even the power-hungry AMD Ryzen 9 7950X, so long as you don't go all out and overclock it with liquid nitrogen. Bottom line, like the AMD best pick, this Asus ROG Strix Z690E gaming Wi-Fi is the Intel counterpart that works with the latest 12th gen processors from Team Blue. It also has high-quality components and all the base features you'd expect from a mid-tier motherboard, including support for up to 128GB RAM, Asus RGB lighting, support for pumps, overclocking, and much more. Likewise, with our top Asus AMD pick, the ROG Strix Z690E gaming Wi-Fi motherboard is equally as good. It's possible to use the Z690E gaming Wi-Fi in a premium PC build with an Intel Core i9-12900K, making this one good value platform choice. There are also water pump headers for water cooling setups, making the ROG Strix Z690E gaming Wi-Fi 1 capable motherboard. Throw in a solid BIOS and remarkable overclocking potential, and you've got an Intel winner with one of the best motherboards for Team Blue. Bottom line, high-quality components, some serious heatsinks for the VRMs, and the best chipset from AMD make the Asus ROG Strix X570E gaming Wi-Fi 2 one of the best motherboards available for AMD PCs in terms of value. The motherboard is super important, but it's also challenging to get it wrong, so long as you buy one that matches the CPU you intend to install. If we're choosing one that strikes a delicate balance between performance and price for AMD fans, it would be the Asus ROG Strix X570E gaming Wi-Fi 2. AMD's Ryzen generation of processors is dominating Intel, and the best motherboard for us from Asus is a perfect match. This isn't the most capable AMD motherboard, but you likely won't require all the additional features that come with splashing out on the most premium motherboards around. AMD has used the AM4 platform since Ryzen launched in 2017, and the X570 is the latest high-end chipset from the company. This platform will support not only Ryzen 3000 processors but also the new 5000 series too. It's possible to install up to a maximum of 128GB RAM, using the 4 DIMM slots provided, though the likelihood of you requiring any more than 32GB is a stretch since only intensive workstations that handle huge files, video editing, for instance, need such large amounts. The best part about the ROG Strix X570E Gaming Wi-Fi 2 is the high-quality components used throughout. This board unlocks support for the latest Threadripper processors from AMD, which can support up to 64 physical cores. The Gigabyte DRX 40 Aorus Master has literally everything you need to build an incredibly powerful rig. You've got full support for up to a 64-core Threadripper CPU, with 128 threads, 8 DDR DIMM slots for quad-channel RAM, server-class power distribution for stable overclocking, and even an audio ESS 9118 Sabre DAC. It's choosing the very best you can afford, and this motherboard will facilitate an insanely powerful AMD PC build. And with today's obscene pricing for PC components, this DRX 40 Aorus Master from Gigabyte can be found as more affordable than top AMD and Intel picks. Bottom line, if you want to do some serious overclocking, the Asus ROG Strix Maximus C790 Hero is an excellent platform with plenty going for it. Like Gigabyte, Asus makes some enthusiast-grade motherboards for those with deep products. A motherboard like the Asus ROG Strix Maximus C790 Hero is perfect for building the PC of your dreams, rocking a Z790 chipset. You've got water cooling support for the VRMs, and these are high-quality, premium components. Looking for a more value-oriented motherboard solution for your AMD Ryzen 7000 processor? The Gigabyte B650M Aorus Elite X is a solid board that can handle even the AMD Ryzen 7950X with some overclocking to boot. The impressive power delivery design allows for some overclocking on such a CPU, and it could easily be considered overkill for Ryzen 7 and Ryzen 5 chips. Bottom line, for those who are budget conscious, the Asus TUF Gaming B550 Plus is an excellent value motherboard with a focus on saving money.